How's it going, everyone? My name is True Underdog, and a lot of you in the comments have told me Johnny Cage is pretty bad in this game. Now, outside of story mode, I haven't touched him all that much, so I'm curious to see what his moves are like. And since you all seem to really like this new series, let's finally find out how terrible is Johnny Cage. So first up, we have the universals. What's this sweep like? That's a pretty good sweep. So he does crouch, he low profiles, possibly ducking under high attacks. That's pretty good. What's the short hops like? That seems pretty decent. And the kick. I'm a big fan of overheads that go this far. Like, this short hop is pretty good, just like Raiden's, though not quite as good as Raiden's, but it's okay. It's an okay short hop. It's certainly not above average. In fact, I wouldn't rely on this all too much, but it gets the job done a little bit. The jumping punch seems a bit weaker. Yeah, that's not very good at all. I don't know why for a lot of these characters in this series, their short hop punches are really bad, but it seems to be an ongoing thing. So forward throw. Okay, pretty far away, so you can throw stuff at him. That's okay. Johnny Cage, not a zoner, but I think the reason throws leave the opponent so far away is because they didn't want a game like Street Fighter V where you throw the opponent, dash forward, and then just go for a meaty right away. They wanted to give the player a breather a lot of the time, except for some characters like Garrus, who stay in your face all day, but anyway, back throw. Ooh. I love the animation for this so much, it's so cool. So pretty much the exact same spacing, regardless of forward or back throw, so you don't really get an advantage either way. And what about the uppercut? Seems like a pretty average uppercut. Hits a bit further in front than it implies, but pretty good. Jumping attacks. Okay, jumping 2. That's like the classic jumping attack from Mortal Kombat, I love that. And jumping 1 is the air to air. Okay, fair enough, but it's still meaty enough to hit the opponent after it's out, so that's kind of nice. So it's definitely for air to airs, but it can still hit a grounded player, and so can jumping 2. The kicks. The kicks seem about average, if not a little bit below average. But still okay, got that magic hitbox a bit in front of him. Seems okay. So his universal stuff isn't that great. It's not bad either, but I'd say it's a bit below average. So next up, let's have a look at these attack strings, because that tends to be the bread and butter for these characters, whether or not they're good or bad. So we have safe or barely punishable, depending on distance, very plus. Wow, +6, okay. Safe. Oh. So safe as long as you don't finish it. That final hit is very unsafe. Okay, once again, we have a safe string. That's good. Pretty safe as long as you don't finish it. So possibly a mix-up. Wow, +6 again. That's pretty crazy. A +6 again. Okay. Safe. But if you finish it, very unsafe. That tends to be a trend with Johnny Cage so far. Okay. This one is unsafe and even more unsafe. So seems risky. Must be a mix-up there, right? And then we have these final 2 strings. So Johnny Cage has quite a lot of strings. Why is that so common with characters that aren't that good? They just have too many strings. So this first one, that's like his go-to hit confirm, I'm guessing. Can I cancel it? Yeah, you can. So you can totally finish that off. And then if you wanted to extend, you could do a nut punch, right? Yeah, so he definitely has a way to punish with this, and the first hit seems pretty decent for a light attack. It's not too bad. He can probably punish something pretty easily, and then go in. Good stuff. And this one is +6. What is this thing? Okay, it ends in a high attack. So that's the problem, right? It ends in that high attack, so it means the opponent can just duck under and uppercut you. But let's see, I want to actually have the opponent duck and see if they can actually avoid this, because sometimes they can't. Yeah, see, they can't actually duck under it. You can't always duck a high attack in this game, I learned, when fighting Cassie. However, if you're smart, you could release block on that last hit, and then it will whiff, and then you uppercut. So look at that, see, right over her head. So she could neutral duck and avoid that last hit and then uppercut me. That's what I did online against a Cassie Cage player when playing as Frost. So some high attacks you can't always duck under, but you can uppercut them. So just be wary of that, be very mindful. It requires you to be a bit risky, but you can. So while it is very plus on block, the opponent could neutral duck it, but still seems like a somewhat good alternative, since they do have to actually release block, so it's not terrible. Hey, do the whole string or just the first 3? Okay. It's a dial-in combo. The first 3 have to come out. And from what we saw, that's pretty safe. So that's a pretty good hit confirm, but so far I've noticed all of these are highs. That's the issue. You can duck all day so far against Johnny Cage. No reason to stand up. What's the final hit like? Hey, you just knock him away. And that last hit is unsafe, right? That's the thing? Yeah, the final hit is super unsafe, so why would you want to use that? The first 3 are actually good. I'm not even sure why even give him that. It's just more animation work. The animators work all night, and this move's never going to be seen. That's kind of hard to hit confirm, my gosh. You gotta have a lot of dexterity there and be very quick, but it seems like a pretty decent hit confirm as long as the opponent's standing up, right? And then we have this. Okay, can I combo after that? No, but it does knock them away, and I do believe it's safe. So that's a somewhat good advancing string. Does that work after his nut punch? Nope. I gotta find out what string to use to close the gap there. Otherwise, I'm not sure what you want to do there. You can't jump, so I'm curious how to end that. But this string seems fairly good for whiff punishing. Seems good for that. And it advances, so seems somewhat useful. Okay, there's a mix up there. It's a low. Or a high. So he has the high or he has the low, so I feel like you always want to do the low. Because can they duck under that high? That becomes the question, right? Let's see if they can actually duck that. They can't, okay. They have to neutral block. So that's the thing, they probably will block that, but is it safe? I kind of recall it not being safe. It is, it's +6, okay, so very similar to this string, right? If they block that, tons of frame advantage, but they're too far away. So I guess the most you can do is like that. We gotta find some advancing moves that they can actually get caught by. All these are highs. Okay, there we go. We finally found the move for advancing, so it looks like you would do that, and then the circle, right? The circle's the advancing, so they block that, you're at +6, go for that. I can see that. And same here. They block that, you go for this. Fair enough. I can see why you'd want to do that. But if they neutral duck, they can eat your lunch, so careful. Keep your lunch money safe. So you have the mix-up that you're honestly almost never going to land because no overheads as of yet. They're going to crouch block all day. So you're not going to land that mix-up, so you're better off doing this and just praying they don't release block. So what do we got next? Okay, another dial-in. So it's very similar to when we saw before, only it's more advancing. So it's like this, only better. So I'm not sure why you would ever do this one. It just seems like an all-around better string. And once again, all day to hit confirm. So that's good. Oh yeah, so you can do cool stuff like that. You have all day to hit confirm it and then do a combo. So that's your advancing string, is forward circle. And I'm guessing circle's what you want to do? No, you can't cancel that? Okay, what about circle X? No, okay. So I guess you just do one into special move right away. That's interesting. Fair enough, I suppose, but I kind of miss the combos of MKX. So we have this next series, right? We have this. So that's a mid. Is that mid safe? I recall it not being safe. No, it's not, so you don't want to do that most of the time. And then we have the next string, which is... Okay, so lows. That's cool. He has a low starter, and you could hit confirm that. Oh, they didn't reach, no. Okay, so you can do it, but it's a bit tricky. I did the wrong input there. If I did the right input, that would have been a total combo, but I wish they wouldn't make you micro dash and micro walk for a lot of these combos. It feels like it's not intentional. So you got the low mix up, and that's good as long as you do tons of short hops. That way the opponent starts standing up, and then you can do the low and get your combo. I don't know why you do the ender though. Does not seem worth it. I don't think it even combos, even in the corner. Yeah, it doesn't. So I don't see why you'd ever want to finish it. So it seems like a lot of his stuff you just don't want to end. So that kind of sucks. But similar to that, you have the move that we just saw, the low. You just want to cancel that second low on block into a special move. Or maybe try a different special move to try and save yourself. Maybe do a counter. That way they go to punish it and you catch them. You could do that. And then we have Tearjerker. Man, that is so slow. Can they duck under that? No, it just misses entirely. So you do not want to do that. Uppercut City. Oh my god. Even if they're blocking, it's Uppercut City. So just don't ever finish the string this way. Unless it's for a combo, I guess. Maybe, if the damage is good. But I'd say never do this in the neutral. Oh my god, it's so bad. That's Devora level bad. Oh my god. Now the next one, Wingman, seems okay. You saw me using that to end combos. Even the first hit, because you fly so far forward, is a good combo extender or ender. It's pretty darn good for that. But the string itself, the ender, you probably don't want to do most of the time, though let's see if it's safe. It is, so it's totally safe. And this one is +7 on block, but they're not going to be standing up. That's the thing. And the final hit is the only one that connects. Why would that ever happen? That seems like a useless crushing blow. Why would that ever happen? The opponent's going to be ducking anyway. There's no reason not to duck after you start attacking. So they're not going to stand up and get hit by that. They'd have to be crazy. Oh my gosh, you're almost never going to get that. That's terrible. So at least it's +7 though, but again, it's never going to land. Against a good player or even a competent player, this going to duck, so it's not going to work. What other crushing blows do we have? I'm sure we have more than one. Nope, we only have one. Darn. Well, that's it for the attack strings. Do we have any crushing blows for his basic attacks? No. Wow, that's crazy. Johnny Cage has been the only character so far in this series with a single crushing blow for all of his attack strings and his regular attacks. That's insane. He has fewer crushing blows than any other character I've done on this series. My god, that's definitely not good. Not to mention the final hits of many of his strings are completely useless because they're either a high attack or they're very minus, so you don't want to end his strings, and he has almost no crushing blows. Johnny Cage is starting to seem not very good. His entire saving grace is supposed to be frame advantage, but from what I've seen, you can neutral duck or just crouching block under everything he has. So that's not good. He does not have frame advantage. So first up we have Mime Time. Okay, so this is actually a counter attack. So the best way to use counters in this game is to do something that's normally unsafe and just special cancel into it. So right there are my lows, and then boom, catch him trying to punish me. Very good stuff. Now if I enhance it, I don't think anything special happens. In fact, you can't even enhance it on, oh you can, never mind, you can totally get a combo. I forgot about that. I know for a fact you can enhance it like when you're doing it, right? To make it last a bit longer. I'm not sure why you'd want to do that, I guess if they try to punish you. But a lot of players are just going to back up and throw a projectile at you if they're smart. They're not going to jump in and try to like properly whiff punish it, they're just going to throw a projectile at you. So it's not going to be good for those situations, but I do like how you can combo after it. I did not know about that, so I'm just going to mash here. That's cool, so I actually do like that. That's one of the few things he has that's really good. I actually like Mime Time a lot, seems like a very useful move. And then we have Straight Force Ball. Coolio. Alright, Straight Force Ball. Awesome stuff. It's just a regular projectile. It's a high attack, so you could duck under it. And if you enhance it, they're both high attacks. That's kind of bad. A lot of characters, when you enhance it, the second one is a mid, so they're forced to block it, but not Johnny Cage. You just walk forward, duck, and before you know it, you're in his face. Now, he's not a zoner, so technically he does want you in his face, so I think this complements that, because he's just kind of trying to stop you from running away, and it seems fast enough to serve that purpose. I kind of like this projectile, it seems fine. And then we have Brass Knuckles. So Brass Knuckles does more damage on chip, and that's it, so as you can see here, I'm not getting more damage on hit. Only on block, which kind of sucks, but it's decent because this character is meant to be in your face and constantly pressure you. So as you can see, that's the normal chip damage. Look at those numbers, and then look at them now. So it's quite a lot more. It's almost double in some cases, right? But now let's see about the kicks. Do the kicks actually get more damage? So those are all doing 3 and then 13. Yes, everything does more chip, even the kicks. So Brass Knuckles does seem somewhat useful, and you can also drop your combo and then cancel into it to get that buff, but outside of the corner I wouldn't recommend doing this since you do give up all of that frame advantage, but in the corner you could still cancel into it and the opponent basically is still forced to block. And then we got Nut Punch. So Nut Punch is your go-to combo extender. The default version has tons of hits done, though they can actually block. It's one of those weird moves where they can block during the animation, but they can't attack. So you could walk forward and go for a mix-up, though I'm stuck in that animation for a very long time. I was mashing throw there, and I couldn't really do anything right away, so it's not as good as it's been in past games. I can't move freely right away, but it's still good for throw setups if you're closer. You like go into it, and the opponent's like, oh, he's gonna mix me up, and no, you go for a throw. That could be pretty effective. And then of course it's your go-to hit confirm, right? You do a combo. Oh my gosh, they're so far away. So I got a micro dash. That's going to be a pain in the butt for Johnny Cage mains, having to constantly micro dash, but it is your go-to combo extender. And then we have Flippy Kick. So that's just an anti-air, more or less. Does it do more damage than Shadow Kick? 70, 60, no. Does not do more, but it still seems pretty good. What with the enhanced? Oh wow, 116. And Shadow Kick does not have an enhanced version, doesn't look like. So if you want to spin the bar, Flippy Kick actually could be your best way to end the combo. It does do more damage that way. Though I wouldn't say it's worth the bar most of the time. Though I have seen some players have a very tough time actually punishing it. Does he land in the splits? Oh my god, he does. He lands in the splits. That's hilarious. And then you have Shadow Kick. So no way to actually enhance this, though it has fantastic range on it. So it's a great whiff punish, albeit a bit risky. And it is a high attack, so the opponent could duck and then uppercut. So it's very risky in the neutral, but it's still a go-to way to end combos. Problem is, it knocks the enemy very, very far away. Can I move afterwards pretty quick? No, I recover the same time they do, so I can't even dash forward to recover that space. If you're fighting a zoner, you don't want to do this most of the time. You probably do want to do Flippy Kick because they stay a bit closer. So Flippy Kick might be your go-to combo ender, unless you're in the corner, in which case Shadow Kick might be fine. Caged Rage, what is this move? Oh yeah, this is the bizarre move that behaves differently on block. So on hit, it's like that. Can I extend it? Nope. So it's not for combo extension, you just get a bit more damage when you amplify it. And then if it's blocked, it actually changes. Alright, what we got here? So if you block it the second time, It's a mid. That's right, it's a mid. And then finally, it's unblockable. That's crazy. But can I do anything after it? No. I don't think I can even combo after it in the corner. Nope. So the unblockable thing is cool, but it's certainly not something to write home about. Does it enhance differently when it's blocked? Nah, it's still the same, it looks like. 147. Did the damage go up though? The damage might have gone up. Yeah, the damage went up exponentially. So on block, it actually enhances. Not only is it a mid, but it seems to also do more damage, and then when it's unblockable, it does the most damage. So it's a very interesting move, very experimental. The problem is, can you even land that first one? Because they'll just duck under it. No, they can just duck it. No, you're never gonna see it. You're never gonna see the enhanced versions because they can just duck it. I guess you just do it raw, and maybe they'll block it because they'll be standing up then, but even then, you can just crouch block from there too, why not? I don't have anything to threaten you with. As far as an overhead from further away, you might as well crouch. Whenever this attack is within range of you, you should already be ducking because my lows are that range also. So you're never gonna get it the first time. If you do, then it becomes a threat because you have the mid, and then finally you have the unblockable. That's cool, then it's finally a threat. But it starts off as a high, so you're never gonna see it. And in fact, okay, it's -3. So at the very least, it's safe. I feel like since it's so bad, it should actually be plus. Let's see what crushing blows here, I didn't really check. So the nut punch will crushing blow if it's the first hit of the match or a punish. Okay, so first hit will actually crushing blow, seriously? I didn't notice that, I was doing that right away. I guess in training mode doesn't count, so we can't see it. So it has to be the first hit of the match or a punish. Now, I imagine it's too slow to actually punish most moves. Its startup isn't the best, but it could duck under stuff and punish it that way. Since he does get very low, it could beat high attacks. Or if it's the first hit, but that means you have to do it raw. That's really dumb. Again, this encourages bad play. That's just really dumb. That's a terrible idea. Why did they put something like this in the game? Why did they do this? I swear, some of these choices. Why did they do this? I'm sorry, I'm getting mad. Some of these choices are just so bad. I don't want to get mad. They're just such terrible choices. So Ninja Mime can actually crushing blow. Let's see here. The first hit of the match, or after landing 2 extended mime times. Okay, so that second part seems less likely. I could see landing this move as the first hit. I actually could see that. Though we can't actually test it in training mode, and that kind of sucks. But I could see the opponent wanting to attack right out of the gate, especially if they have fantastic range. They're going to want to go for that sometimes, and you mime time. I can see that working. Now, doing the 2 extended mime times does not seem very likely. That means to amplify it, right? And they catch it after that. Again, they're going to throw a projectile in your face, so not very likely. So Johnny Cage is very lacking in the crushing blow department. I think he has one crushing blow that's actually useful. Yeah, so Johnny Cage has terrible crushing blows. Absolutely terrible crushing blows. That's the problem. So everything is a high attack that's for frame advantage. And since he has low mix-ups and not overhead mix-ups, the opponent's going to crouch all day. So no frame advantage, and even worse so, maybe a whiff punish, they're going to uppercut you for a crushing blow. So no frame advantage, possible punish from the opponent, and absolutely no crushing blows that are useful, at least in this variation. Yeah, Johnny Cage does seem pretty bad. I might should have put him lower on my tier list. He does not seem very good. You can crouch block all day, whiff punish everything against him, and almost never have to worry about a crushing blow. So we actually only get 2 new special moves in this variation, and that's not a big deal as long as they're good. So throwing shades, it's a mid attack. Oh wow, what's the range on that? So what do they even hit? No, it just bounces off of them. Like some sort of divine force is stopping them. And then if they get hit, can I enhance it? No, no enhancing? So what's the point of this? What's the frame data on it? It's super duper unsafe. It's not even a good projectile really. So it could actually crushing blow if it's the first hit of the match or in a combo that involves a fatal blow dash cancel. Okay, so that's one really cool thing about Johnny Cage. His fatal blow, you can actually dash cancel out of it, which is super sick. Now you do have to wait for it to come back, so it's a bit of a gamble, but the reason it's so good is almost nobody has the cojones to attack you once they see the startup of a fatal blow. They're just gonna block, so you could dash in and go for a throw, or go for a low mix-up, and then if you get that combo, you can do throwing shades and get your crushing blow. So it's not the most practical. Once again, you gotta be at death's door to even see this crushing blow, but crazy enough, this is the most likely one we've seen so far. Ooh, okay. So the damage there wasn't even that crazy. What is that, about like 30% for a crushing blow that cost me my fatal blow? So I had to give up my fatal blow to actually get that, by the way. Keep that in mind. it's not just a dash cancel that then tricks the opponent. I don't think. It has to actually be in the middle of a combo, yeah. So I have to do my hit confirm, and then just drop that combo. Don't do a basic combo extender, right? Don't do something like that. No. Instead, spin to your fatal blow mix-up, go for the combo, and then end with this, and you get a crushing blow. Now, it could also be the first hit, too, right? They said that. So maybe then you'll land it. And this one doesn't seem too risky as the first hit, because you could back up and throw it. Projectiles from a distance are pretty not risky, you know, not a big deal. You're not risking very much, so you could get it that way. That's just ridiculous. And then we have Say Cheese. So this actually replaces his Nut Punch. So keep that in mind. Is it a high attack? So the opponent could duck under it. You have to be really careful, make sure you hit confirm it. Now if I enhance it, how good is it? It does stagger them, so that's kind of cool. It's got the stagger. So if you put them further away, you could actually stagger into it and then get them further away for a jump in. Let's try that. Oh my god, it misses entirely. So as far as mix-ups go, it's objectively worse than the Nut Punch, because even the Nut Punch would at least reach. This does not reach. I gotta cancel that first hit, and then I can do it. Did that even combo? It did not, so I can't even do that. So it seemed like a good alternative at first, but the range is worse on it. It's a high attack. So the most you actually get is like the stun. So if you landed a bit further away, but do I have all day to back up and do it? No, not really. If I did, I could forgive it. If I could back up and then go for the jump. But I don't think I can, yeah. So I gotta do that instead. You could do that, but then you switch sides. So the only benefit of this versus the Nut Punch is you get a jump in. That's the only benefit. But outside of that, it's a high attack, so they could duck it. And it also has worse range than your Nut Punch, and you don't duck while doing it. What's the crushing blow for it? Anything? So first hit of the match, or if this move has missed 3 times or more in a row, you have to miss 3 times in a row? Come on, NetherRealm, who made this guy's crushing blows? This is ridiculous. Nearly all of them are useless. And why is every single one required to be the first hit of the match? What is up with that? Its range is terrible. It's not going to be your first hit. They can't even reach. They would have to extend themselves so far but then miss to actually get caught by this as your first hit. Are you for real, NetherRealm? Who did this? Who did this to poor Johnny Cage? This is terrible. Why'd they do this? And then you have to miss it 3 times? Seriously? In a row, too. And then if I enhance it, I get a crushing blow. Oh, the animation there is hilarious, but only about 15%. Are you serious? 15%? I get that for a throw. So not only is it very tough to get that crushing blow requirement, but the damage isn't even worth it. Now granted, it is for extending combos, but it's still not even worth it. My goodness. These moves don't seem good at all. Throwing shades is the only one that realistically you might actually land in a match. Oh my gosh. I think even though Johnny Cage is not the worst character we've covered on this series, reviewing him has still actually been the most frustrating because he has so many bad things, like his crushing blows are ridiculous. You're just never gonna land them. And his attack strings are for frame advantage, but you can duck under every single one. And he has lows only for his mix-ups, so not only will you duck under his stuff knowing they're high attacks, but you're also gonna duck block naturally because only lows are gonna be hitting you. So you're always gonna be crouch blocking against Johnny Cage. So his frame data is mostly out the window. His crushing blows are pretty much not there, they're non-existent. Honestly, the only thing Johnny Cage has going for him is this. This is really cool. The option to cancel your fatal blow is really sick. That's really cool. That's the only thing he has to set him apart from other characters. That's it. But even then, all you get is a throw. That and his brass knuckles are kind of cool, which I should mention aren't in this variation either. So I don't see why you'd ever want to use this second variation, and that's pretty bad, because that's his tournament variation and his ranked variation. My gosh. Alright everyone, I think that's about it for the Johnny Cage video. This one got me more frustrated than any other character so far. Even though I don't think he's the worst character on the roster, my gosh, they sure went out of their way to give him some really bad stuff. Alright everyone, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like down below. It really does help my channel out a ton. And while you're down there, please post a comment too. How do you feel about Johnny Cage? Do you think he's terrible, or do you think he's just somewhere in the middle? Please let me know down in the comments. And finally, why not keep that combo going by subscribing and ringing that bell? That way you never miss a future video. Make sure to come back next time, and as always, stay underdogs.